Hi, we're back. This time we'd like to address a couple of your comments and ask you a few questions.
And if you want to write back to us, that's fine, or if you want to try to make a video like we did, that's great too.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the comments was sometimes people just look at me like they are confused. And I think that happens a lot with us too. The confusion could be from many different reasons, or for many different reasons, sorry. I think the best way to settle confusion is to maybe re-explain or explain in a different way, or even just ask if they're confused or if they're having difficulty with something.
One thing we like to do is tell students what they look like to us. So I'll say something like, you look confused, or you look like you're not understanding. Do you want me to explain this a different way? Or you could say something like, you look like you maybe don't want to be here. Is something bothering you about this paper or about this class that I can help you with? So just telling students like what you're perceiving is really helpful.
Yeah, it's always good to kind of get like a rapport going. So having a good dialogue and making sure they feel comfortable. So don't talk to them like you're their boss. Talk to them as if they're your friend or your peer.
Because they are.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, and then I'm surprised that when the student reads the essay, they really do find a lot of their mistakes. Yeah, people are really good at picking up on their own mistakes when they read out loud. It's amazing that we don't do that more.
Right.
Yeah.
I think here we really emphasize having the student or the tutor read out loud, because when we're reading in our minds, we know what we wanted to say or how it should sound. So we'll kind of have like a autocorrect where it'll change it for us. But if it's read out loud, it really makes the person slow down and focus on the specific words or the sentence structure, and it makes it easier for them to find their mistakes.
And one thing I always tell students is to read at like half the pace you would if you were reading out loud in class or something. So like I'm going to read one of the questions like that. So I would read it, how do you kindly say you should redo part of the paper? And that's really slow, and we weren't taught that way, but that's the only way that some students catch mistakes. So I always say slow down, because then you won't miss anything.
Right, and one thing that I like to do is, even if they're reading that slow, some people will still have a hard time finding a mistake. So you could reread it and put some emphasis on the part that sounds off or silly or wrong, and they'll usually notice what you're doing and they'll look at it closer and try to figure it out.
Okay, so we didn't respond to all the comments, but we thought that those we could say something about them. So we also had some questions for you guys, and however you want to answer them is fine. So.
First of all, we think it's awesome that you have a writing center.
Yeah.
We think it's a great idea, and that peer tutoring is a great way to improve your writing.
Did you have one in your high school or middle school?
No,
I didn't either. Yeah.
I never even heard of it till you let us know about it. So we would like to know how you came up with the idea of a writing center, and maybe how you conduct your writing center hours, or how you're chosen to be a tutor. We're just really interested in that.
I wanted to know, students in college have a lot of free time. Like if you're not in class or at work, you really don't have to be in school from like 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's a little more free. But I remember being in high school and middle school, and you go to class, you're like every class right in a row, and maybe you have a study hall or lunch, but it's not like you can just pop into a writing center or leave class or whatever. So I was wondering how that works. Like, is it a class that you guys take, and then during that class you're working as a tutor, or is it after school or before school? So can you tell us how that works?
Yeah. And I think you had one more question for them.
Yeah, I wanted to know if it's challenging to work with students who are at the same level as you, or if you work with students who are in a different grade. So we work with students, we're both undergrads, and sometimes we help graduate students or people writing dissertations to get their doctorate degrees, and that can be challenging. So I was wondering if you guys experience the same thing. Like, do you help people who are in a higher grade or a higher class than you, and how do you deal with that?
Yeah. So if you could respond to us, that would be great, and you can write us back, or if you are able to, send us a video.
Yep, hope to hear from you guys soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.